All right, folks. God bless you. Welcome to This Is It. I didn't say before the fire, this is it. Guys, today, I don't even know how I'm going to do this, to be honest. The Lord has 100%, 100% confirmed it's time for something that my name even bears witness of. Let me show you what I mean. The name Kleck means Yahweh has given a messenger. Jonathan Kleck means Yahweh has given. Kleck means a messenger that rings a bell, gathers the church. Let me show you. Here is Kleck. There's a king's crown right there. It says German, High Middle German, name for someone who lived by the bell tower of a church. Occupational name for whose duties were responsible for ringing the church bell, to call the church, or town crier who used a handbell to draw attention. Well, a town crier goes out on behalf of the king and he rings a bell and he says, hear ye, and he tells the king's news. They're usually pretty loud and boisterous. Today, the Lord conveyed on the heels of the other videos. I told you the Lord told me now's the time. Today, let me show you what arrived in the mail, but the testimony that goes before this is what's going to make all the difference. And you've seen this. Do you know what this is? This is a real shofar from Israel. This is an actual shofar. It had writing on the box from Israel. It was sent to me, and when I opened it up, when I actually opened it up, it came on the heels of so many other confirmations that I already knew it was time that I had to go do this video and tell y'all the king is coming. The door's closed. The time has come. The time of grace has come to an end. I find that, I'm trying not to cry. I find that hard to believe myself. It's very difficult. But let me give you a testimony, okay? Let me just tell you what happened. Okay, and I've documented everything. I'm trying not to cry right now, okay? So just give me a sec. Okay, so Lord help me do this, please. Okay, so a year ago, the Lord told me that I would face a no-win situation and that I should embrace it. Nothing to be afraid of. All right. So a year ago, Cory came down and there were some things the Lord had told me he wanted me to do. And without getting into all the minutia, I'll just tell you it was kind of a job, and I was like, wow, that's overwhelming. This is what you want me to do to get ready for whatever situation I have to deal with. And the Lord told me yes. And it's not a survival thing. I'm not trying to survive anything at all. And so anyway, so I said, okay, so this is how you want me to prepare myself for it. So anyway, long story short, when Cory arrived here from California to help me work on what we were doing to get ready, the Lord, while I was in the car with Cory, by the way, you're going to hear out of Cory's own mouth here in just a sec. All this is documented. I I heard the Lord say, I want you to go to TJ Maxx and go buy each of y'all a pair of socks. I thought it was the weirdest thing in the world. This was a year ago. I'm wearing those socks right now, right here. It says Angel 27. It's a pair of baseball socks or whatever. So anyway, so I thought it was really weird, and so I put the socks off to the side, and I heard in my spirit, you'll know when to put them on. It's been a year. And the little joke between Cory and I is if we ever had an overwhelming group of people show up here, like, Antifa or whatever, I would say, well, our joke is, well, go put your socks on. That's kind of the inside joke between me and Cory. Like, if we have to deal with, something we don't want to deal with on that kind of a level, our joke is, hey, go get your socks. Go put your socks on, Johnny. It says Angel 27. Back then when I walked into TJ Maxx that day, I mean, I looked at Corey and I go, "This is the weirdest thing." So we went over, we walked in. The Lord said, "You'll know which ones to pick." And I walked up to this wall of socks, and my eyes went right to it. And the Lord said, "Those." There was the number 34 as well. And the Lord said, "No, 27, both of you." And so we did them. We set them down. They've been sitting around for a year. No one showed up. We haven't had any severe altercation or anything. So they've just sat there. This morning I got up and the Lord said, "Put on your socks." Okay, now, I know a lot of people, "Ooh, just wait." So this morning I got up and I thought, how weird, you're telling me to put these on, but it's like the joke is if something really serious happens, I'll go put my socks on, whatever. Anyway, it's like a way of saying, hey, I was ready. Anyway, so the Lord said, go put your socks on this morning. And it was very early, about 5 something or 6 this morning. And then Cora and I left the house. We went to go get some coffee. And I pulled in front of a building and I was just kind of sitting there and I was like, why am I sitting here? And I was trying to actually tell Corey, I was like, hey, dude, I got my socks on. The Lord told me to put my socks on. And it was an awkward moment. But so anyway, I'm sitting there drinking coffee and I look up and there's a crown on this building and it says gold crown. So what? I know. And I'm like, well, don't forget what's the Kleck? The Kleck coat of arms is a shofar and a crown. Okay, well, so anyway, I look up and I see this gold crown. It says gold crown. Everything I tell you, you're going to get to see right here in just a minute. And then I was like, that's weird. Whatever. I didn't say anything about it. I drove around the other side of the building and it's dark and there's these cherry picker machines out and they had guys way up there. It looked like they were welding. I wanted to see, like, what are those guys doing? They were at the movie theater and I was sitting there looking and they weren't welding. I was like, oh, okay. And then I just sat there and I stared, like when I was in the riverbed in Chinati when I stared down and there the 2 rocks were. So this morning I just caught myself like in a daze and I said, why am I staring at this building? And then all my eyes went like this and it said Regal Crown. And then I thought, wow, that's very odd. I'm wearing these socks and the socks have the letter A for angels and it has like a crown on it. So right over here or right here are the socks. It says angels and it's got a halo like a crown going through the A or around the A and the number 27 on my socks. Okay, so anyway. So at the point I saw the second crown, it said Regal Crown, I thought, you know what, I need to at least tell Corey I've got my socks on. And I was kind of waiting. I was like, I felt a little awkward. It's like, dude, I put my socks on. If something doesn't happen, you're going to look like a lunatic, right? And it was weird. And I was like, hey, Corey, listen, you know what? You know those socks we got? And he's like, yeah. And I'd driven away from the Regal Crown. So I had already seen both crowns. I drove away from them both and I pulled over somewhere else. And I said, yeah, you know those socks we got with angels on it? I said, I got mine on. The Lord told me to put mine on today. And he was like, really? And I go, yeah. I said, I don't know what it means. I guess maybe the king's coming. And right then, if this is my vehicle, a truck pulls in front of me basically and stops. And the whole side of the truck just said, it's a matter of time. Right when I'm saying this to Corey and I both, we started laughing. I was like, dude, that's crazy. And I'm like, it's so weird. I'm sitting in front of both these things that say crown this morning. And I said, you know what? Let's go grab some breakfast. And so I zipped home real quick and then I said, let's go to Snooze. It was really a weird request because we don't go there. I said, I just feel like we need to go to this place called Snooze. I don't know why. And I pull up to park and there was lots of parking, but I kept going. Even though I had parking, I just kept going. And then I stopped and then I backed in. It was really weird. I should have just taken the ones I was right by. I usually would. But I kept going, missed them. Then I backed up and then Corey goes, look up. And I looked up and right above Snooze was a crown. Right next door was some business. And it had another crown. And it was really weird. And I was like, this is so bizarre. So now Corey and I are both going, okay, this is really weird. So we go into Snooze. And in Snooze, we sat at the bar. They have 3 different levels of alcohol, top tier, middle tier, and bottom tier. every bottle that was on the top had the same bottle underneath it on the middle and the same bottle underneath it on the bottom. Except I looked over and it said Elijah, and there was a bottle of alcohol. It said Elijah, and there was one, and then there was two, and then there was one. And I go, God, that is so weird. Every other bottle has 111, 111, except Elijah was 121. And in my spirit, I heard, you came into the system and became two things. You're going back to one. And so I'm sitting there going, okay, this is getting kind of weird. I'm just going to be honest. But wait, y'all just wait. Y'all are not going to believe this, what happened. And so I just thought, this is so bizarre, man. This is so bizarre. And so I'm documenting all these things. I didn't document the Elijah thing. I didn't want to look at it like a freak at the bar. But anyway, so we leave, and then I have to go pay one of my bills. My cable bill, I go to the grocery store. I walk in and I pay my bill. And then I'm walking literally out the front door. I'm right at the front door, and then all of a sudden I have to pee. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to be driving around. So I just go right back through the lane where you check out. I just walk right back through. I walk to the very end of the store. I take a left, and I'm walking along the far back wall. And then there's a lady in front of me, and I'm trying to, she's she's kind of in my field of vision. And I just turn like this because I don't want to pay attention to her. And I look like this, and there's a counter right here, and it says Halo. Now I have a halo on my sock. Crown 1, crown 2, crown 3. I've seen 3 crowns. And then I go like this, and I'm staring at Halo and it's ice cream. But I'd left my phone in the car, and Cory and Kat were chatting on the phone. And I was just like, that is insane. And so I go to the bathroom. I come back. I grab the Halo out of the cabinet, or out of the case. And I check out. I grab the Halo ice cream. And I go back and I photograph it in my car. And the ice cream itself has a gold band around it. Now listen, I know y'all may be sitting there going like, okay, this is pretty weird. Like, yeah, okay. Just wait. Just wait. I documented everything. Just wait. Now I'm certifiably going, okay, I am legitimately weirded out. There is no possible way you could get up and put on the socks that have been sitting around for a year waiting for some kind of event to take place at your house. There's no way. The socks are a representation of, looks like the shit hit the fan. Go put your socks on, Cory. Like maybe they want to show up and give us a vax, and we're not ready for a vax, that type thing. And I was like, you know what? And our joke is just go put your socks on, because it means it's going to get real. So anyway, so I had the socks on. Crown, crown, crown. Now I'm looking at Halo, and I'm like, okay, this is certifiably weird. So I take it out and I show it to Cory, and I'm like, can you believe that? Tell him the story. And so I had to document stuff in the parking lot as it happened. Let me play you a couple little clips, and then I'll get back to this testimony, because this is mind-boggling. Here we go. Ready? So let's just document it here real quick. I want to make sure I don't mess up on my audio. Here we go. Ready? So let's do this, and then let's do this. I'm documenting this for my own brain. My socks, it's an Angel 27. I've had these socks for a year. And this morning I heard, put them on. The letter A has a crown like a halo. We just pulled up for this breakfast at this place called Snooze. In my spirit, I heard go there. But what's strange is I've been in 2 other places this morning that had crowns out in front of them. My socks have a crown on them. I pulled up in front of some place, and I just stopped, and I looked up. It said Regal Crown, and then Hallmark Crown. Everything's crowns today. It's all crowns. Just documenting it. Okay, now I'm going to pause it. Okay, so we go to breakfast. It's weird, the Elijah thing, and what happened to Elijah? Elijah was carried away. He was taken up into heaven. I'm the guy telling everybody the church is about to leave. So it's kind of weird for me to be sitting there and looking at Elijah is the only bottle that's different than all the other ones. Every other bottle, there was one on the top shelf, right under it on the middle shelf, and right under it on the bottom shelf. Every bottle was the same, except Elijah. It was 1, 2, and 1. And I just thought that's very strange. So anyway, so then I go to the grocery store and I walk in, and let me show you that real quick. Okay, so here's the grocery store. Look, it says Halo Top. And you see the ring around the top, the lid that you take off? It's actually like a halo. Halo. It says 330 calories. The Lord told me, Jonathan, look up 330 in the Bible. So here's the Halo ice cream. And then he told me, look up 330. Hang on one second. Okay, again, there was the ice cream. It said Halo. And the Lord, it's 330. The Lord said, look up 330. And it's Ana Thalo, up. Ana means up, and then Thalo, to flourish again. Up and flourishing again. To revive. You see right here, it says Psalm 27.7. That was one of the first scriptures the Lord ever showed me when my mother and father turned against me and my whole world fell apart. It means to flourish again. Okay, so again, let me just recapitulate. Ready? Let's start at the beginning in the morning. The very first thing I was doing, I was watching Madonna at Quavo. Not everyone is going to the future. Not everyone that's here is going to last. And look, right here on the pillar, see the serpent being right here, the eye in the eye? You have to catch it exactly at the 9:37 mark to see the serpent. It happens very quick. There's the serpent being here and here. See it? It's also on the bottom pillar here and here. So anyway, I was up this morning. That's the first thing that I saw this morning when I was praying. Then the Lord told me, put on your socks. I put on my angel socks. There it is. Obviously, it's kind of funny. It's upside down. And then I told you, I pulled up this morning with my coffee and I was sitting there and I was going to say, hey, Cory, I got my socks on, and see what he said. And I'm sitting there looking at this Hallmark thing. Why am I staring at? It said gold crown. See right here? And then we drove around the theater and I sat there and I watched these guys. It looked like they were welding up on all these the three pyramids of Giza, and I seen these sparks fly. And I sat there and I looked and I go, what are they doing? And then I looked up and it says Regal Crown Club. And so I'm like, that's really weird. So I'd seen gold crown, regal crown, and I'm wearing a crown on my socks. So I pull up, I drive away and I pull up right here and I'm sitting right here. And I'm going to tell Cory, I'm going to say, hey, listen, I need to tell you, the Lord told me to put on my socks today. And I tell him, and then right then a truck pulls right in front of me. This is my vehicle. A truck pulls right up, and right in front of me it says, it's just a matter of time. Okay, now the Lord has my undivided attention. You know why? Yesterday, over and over and over again, he told me you need to be on a visual. You need to keep watch, pay very close attention to your surroundings. I'm going to be communicating with you. Pay attention. That's all today's been. Yesterday he told me, pay attention. I'll show you all. I documented everything. Now today, everything's crowns. Ready? I leave snooze. I go to the grocery store. Now I'm walking out with Halo. And now I'm like, okay, this is legitimately flipping me out. So then I go home. I'm like, let's go home. And I pull up YouTube just to check on comments. And when I pull up YouTube to check on comments, let me show you what happened. Oh, well, let me show you the other crown right in front of the snooze place. So right in front of the snooze place is Kim's Closet, and it's a crown. So there all the crowns are. There's the halo. And then I go home and I pull up YouTube and I'm going to check on comments. And this YouTube video comes up in front of me. Okay, so here's the YouTube video. It says Isle of Man, Kawasaki, H2R, James Hiller, 216 miles an hour. And I just look at it and I'm just I was like, wow, 216 miles an hour. I had no intention of really watching the video or anything, none. And I heard the Lord say, pay attention. Isle of Man. You know the Isle of Man right here? Where it says Isle of Man? I have a helmet with the Isle of Man symbol on it. The three legs, the three bent legs. I forget what it's called. It's actually the coat of arms for the DuPont family that I married into. I bought a helmet with that on it as a mockery when my son graduated from high school, just to let him know I did it all on my own. I didn't need any of y'all's help. So I bought a helmet with the Isle of Man logo, just as a little, I'm just being honest. I bought that helmet just to show them I didn't need any of you. I did it all on my own. I gave the helmet away about a month ago, a little over a month ago. Okay, so I look up and I see this video on YouTube, Isle of Man, James Hiller, 216 miles an hour. And I hear the Lord tell me, look up the meaning of James. And I'm sitting here just going, okay, that's weird. So I look up the meaning of James. James means supplanter. So the definition of James is a baby boy's name, which means supplanter, which means to overthrow. And I am bearing witness to Jesus overthrowing their entire kingdom. The same as Jacob became Yisrael. He will rule as El. Jacob means supplanter. See, we were all Jacob until you get converted. Then you become Yisrael. He will rule as El. Now watch. Okay, so I'm sitting here looking at this line. This is so bizarre. Isle of Man, James supplanter, and the Lord says, look at the name of this. Modo Resurrection. Modo Resurrection. Isle of Man, look, Resurrection, Isle of Man. We're on the Isle of Man, everybody. The world is the Isle of Man, and the Lord's shown me that, and I know it. It's a prison. Isle of Man, Modo Resurrection. James means supplanter, and the Lord says, look up 216 in the Bible. Look up 216. My radio show, the first caller I ever had, her name was Yvonne. The very first call of my radio show, the very first call when I did the radio, was Yvonne Orr from England. She got converted. My very first phone call that was called my very first radio program called Before the Fire. This is it, Before the Fire. A lady called up and she confessed Christ in the very first phone call. And I had already said, the Lord said, people will call, they will give their lives to me. You'll lay hands on the sick and they'll recover, and I'll bless this ministry. This was Blog Talk Radio. For years and years I did it. The very first phone call of the very first show was Yvonne Orr and me. And so, light. Here it is in a Isle of Man. And I'm just like, okay, that's so weird. Isle of Man, supplanter light. I'll say it again. Isle of Man, supplanter light. And you may be thinking, that's some weird connections to make. Really? You ready? Are you ready? The Lord told me I was going to click off the video. I was already like, this is crazy. I already know we're leaving. Isle of Man, supplanter light. And I heard the Lord say, no, watch the video. Y'all ready? Y'all know I got saved at the St. Anthony, right? St. Anthony Hotel in the alley. St. Anthony means priceless, priceless value. At Travis Park means the crossing. I was born in Frankfurt, Germany. Frankfurt means the crossing of the ford. Frankfurt, crossing of the ford. Travis means crossing to the other, like the crossing where I talked to Michael after I got saved. Ready? Watch this. You probably didn't see it. I heard the Lord tell me, pay attention. What's on my socks? A halo. It said light. 216 is light. supplanter. Watch. Watch this guy's body right here. Watch his, look right here on his body. Look right here. I know that this is some bizarre lens effects, but the Lord told me to pay attention because I already knew we're leaving and that we're light beings. Been telling you that. Watch light look like it leaves this guy's body and cross to the other side. And as it crosses, it makes a halo. You'll see it. Watch. Here we go. See it? Now I'm going to slow it down. Watch. I slowed it down. Watch. Right here, you're going to see light go across here like this. It's going to make a sharp point like the A on the angels, and then it's going to make a halo just like the A on my socks. Watch. Here it goes. Get ready. Here it goes. Watch. There it goes. Look at the tip. The tip will make the halo. Watch. There it is. It's starting to spread out. It's making a halo, and it's going across the street, and the light disappears. Watch it again. There it goes. Watch. There it goes. Look at the tip. Turns to a circle like a smoke ring. And then look at the red. Turns to a point. And then it goes across the street. Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you think it's possible? Guys, we're about to turn to light. We're about to turn to light beings. We're light beings that have been reconciled back to God. Wear your socks, Jonathan. Crown, gold crown, regal crown, crown regal, regal crown. Another crown in front of whatever it was by snooze. A crown halo on ice cream. Light going across the street to the other side, forming a crown. Ready? After I saw this video, I was like, I am legitimately freaked out right now. And then I told Cory, I have to go to the post office. I got to go to the PO. And then I had a couple other errands. Alvin, my friend, my karate instructor, I told him I would give him a TV today. I have an extra TV. Let me show you what happened. Okay, this is what happened next. I went to the post office after already experiencing all these things before 10:30 in the morning. All these things happened before 10:30. I go to the post office and I had a package that had been sent to me, and it was from Israel. Y'all know that I told you I'm a harbinger. I announce the arrival of the king. That's who I am and what I'm supposed to do. The information that he gave me was so y'all could believe and know that he's coming. The Vatican's a snake. The Lord has let me expose their evil plans. Ready? This is what happened next. It has me at breakfast talking about my angel socks. And after that, that's me at the post office with the shofar I just put on the hood of my car. So today of all days, Dave is already stitching together a video for you guys, and it has the Isle of Man in it. It has me at breakfast talking about my angel socks. And after that, I ended up in front of four places with crowns, and then went to the grocery store and was holding a thing of Halo in my hand. I'll give you the testimony when I see it, but then today of all days, a shofar shows up from Israel. From Israel. This is from Israel. Right there, the writing on the box. That's from Israel. So today of all days, where you have the Isle of Man video that I already documented, where the light is leaving the guy's body, going across the street, going to the other side. The shofar. Stop. Okay, so it's me and Cory. And Cory has witnessed everything that's happened today. Cory, you and I have had a pair of socks for over a year. Each of us has a pair. What does it say on your socks?
Angels 27.
How long have we had those?
Over a year, yep.
And the Lord kind of let us know that he one day he told me go to TJ Maxx and buy a pair of socks. Is that true or not true?
True.
And he said I'd know which socks when I got there. Is that true or not true?
True.
So a year ago, I went to TJ Maxx with you and walked up to the sock thing. There was 2 pairs of socks. One said Angels 34 and one said Angels 27.
Yep.
The Lord told me to get the ones that said Angels 27, correct?
Correct.
And then the Lord just told me put them off to the side.
Yep.
That's been over a year, correct?
Yep.
Okay, I'm telling you facts. This morning I woke up and the Lord told me, Jonathan, put on your angel socks.
Correct.
I didn't want to even tell Cory because Cory and I are expecting not so welcome visitors is a good way of putting it. And so anyway, we were kind of waiting till that day to put on our socks.
Yep.
And we don't know when that day would be. But anyway, so long story short, this morning the Lord told me put on those socks this morning, and I thought, wow, well, that would be kind of awkward for me to put mine on and not tell Cory that the Lord told me to put them on just because we got them together. So anyway, this morning I did what the Lord said. I put the socks on, and Cory and I have been out this morning. While we were out, I hadn't told him yet that I had the socks on. We ended up at a place where I was, Gold's Gym. We were parked there, and I was looking up, and it said Gold Crown down below. The word Gold's Gym. It said Gold Crown. It was a Hallmark card store, and the Lord called my attention to, hey, remember the socks you're wearing? And then I thought, oh wow, that's weird. So in front of Cory, without telling Cory I was wearing the socks yet, I was like, I think this is going to be a really weird day. And because I knew I had those socks on, the angel socks. They have the letter A with a halo over it. So anyway, then next thing you know, we're on the other side of that same exact building, and we're parked watching some guys do a neon sign at 6 a.m. in the dark. And as we're watching these guys do that sign, I was sitting there and I'm like, why am I sitting here staring at guys putting up a neon sign at 6 in the morning? What am I even looking at? And then my eyes zeroed in and I was looking at the word Regal Crown.
Yep.
And then after that, I felt like I got to tell Cory that I've got these socks on, and just like, I'm like, okay. So I pull around this building, and I'm just going to say, okay, I know this is pretty wacky, but I hadn't told him yet that I'm going to say I'm wearing those socks. Because it's kind of one of our little jokes, like, hey, if the bad team shows up, we'll start by putting our socks on.
Yep.
Because we know we're angels. So anyway, so after being in front of the second crown thing, I thought, here we go. The time has come just to tell Cory, hey, dude, I got the socks on. I have to tell you. So I'm pulled up in front of this restaurant called Snooze, but I'm really just pulling up there to park. And so I start telling Cory, look, this is going to be a weird day, but I've got my socks on. And I said, but it's kind of weird because, even the idea of putting those socks on comes with the inference that the time has come, like our time has come. That's what those socks represent to Cory and I. It's like the day the dad tells us, hey, get your socks on, looks like it's game day between us and the enemy. And Cory and I have kind of gotten ourselves ready for that game day, whatever it is. And so anyway, that being said, so I told Cory, I'm like, look, I got my socks on. I know that sounds crazy, but the Lord told me to put them on this morning. Is all this true?
Yep.
Did it happen exactly like I'm telling you?
Exactly, yep.
So anyway, so I told Cory, yeah, I got the socks on. And I was like, you know what? It's so weird because now we've seen 2 times crown. And then I said, let's run home real quick and then we'll get out and grab breakfast. And I said, you know what? I really want to go back to the place that we were parked in front of. Do we eat there very often?
No.
Hardly ever. We've eaten there twice. It's called Snooze. And so I thought, you know what? Let's go back to Snooze. And I said, let's go back to Snooze. And so I said, I'm just compelled to go back there. And we go back to Snooze, and I'm parking in a place that I wasn't going to park in. And as I park there, Cory points up, there's another crown in front of me. And then I'm like, okay, you know, I got my socks on that's got the halo crown. There's a crown over the letter A. It's a halo. Then I'm like, okay, you can't fake this. Looks like this is happening. So then we leave there. We go home. We leave there. We go to the grocery store because I got to pay my cable bill. And I walk in and to pay it, and I'm leaving, and all of a sudden I have to pee. And I'm like, you know what? I make a U-turn. I go back in the store basically because I'd already paid. I was at the front door. I make a U-turn, go back in, and I'm walking towards the bathroom, and there's this lady in front of me, and I'm like, I just look the other way, and as soon as I look the other way, I'm looking right at Halo. It's this ice cream, and it's got an actual halo on the lid of the ice cream. Okay, so now the Lord's got my undivided attention. And I was like, that's insane, but my phone was in the car and Cory was talking to Kat. So what I did was I bought the ice cream and I brought it, and I said, look at this, Cory. Okay, now here, let's wrap it up. There's a halo on my socks, the word crown, gold crown in front of me from Hallmark cards. Regal crowns from Regal Crown Cinema, and then from the place we ate breakfast, Snooze, is a crown, and a van went right in front of me and literally stopped in front of me, and it said, just a matter of time. And then I go into the grocery store and I'm coming out with a Halo ice cream, and I was like, this is nuts, dude. So anyway, I was like, to be continued, here it comes. So I get home, I check on my video, and I open up YouTube, and a video comes on, a thumbnail, it says Isle of Man. Well, the Isle of Man has a 3-legged symbol, a leg with a bent knee with 3 legs. And it's from the DuPont thing, and I had a helmet with that on it when I went to my son's graduation. I literally had an Isle of Man helmet. And I was like, I'm just going to use it kind of as to the enemy who was there also. Anyway, so when I saw the Isle of Man thing, I thought, you know what, I looked at it, and it said 216 mile per hour, James something, and I heard the Lord say, look up 216, it means light, to turn to light. And I'm like, that's crazy. And then Isle of Man, because we're on this isle that's the Isle of Man. It's called the earth. And then I'm going to turn that off, and I hear the Lord say, no, watch the video. And I'm like, watch the motorcycle video, the Isle of Man? And I click on it, and in the video, while I have the word or, 219 or 216, whatever it is, the word is or, O-R-E, and it means light, like fire, light. While I'm watching that video, it looks like this guy's body, light comes out of it and crosses over the street and turns into a halo. Probably no big deal. And then I go to my P.O. box, and there's a shofar in my P.O. box from Israel. And I'm the guy whose crest is a shofar and a crown. Okay, now I got that out. Okay, now I don't know what world you live in, but in the world that I live in, and Cory gets to witness, I'm here to tell you the Lord God communicates directly. There's an open door between us. Revelation 3, I've placed before you an open door. That's an open door to the throne room. And he has communicated 100%. Our time is here. Yep. It's time to blow the shofar. All right, well, that's going to be fun to try and get that up and try it.
Oh, by the way, it's only 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it's 10:33 in the morning. Yeah, we're just getting started. All that happened since we've been out this morning.
Yep.
Started with Madonna at Quavo. Okay, anyway. Just documenting. Okay, guys, it's time to go. Okay, so now I'm just going to kind of summarize things a little bit. Cory's sitting right here. So since this morning, I was watching Madonna's Quavo. Not everyone is going to make it to the future video. I broke it down a long time ago for you guys. It's ridiculous. It's an occultic ceremony of the abomination coming out of the pit and taking over the whole host body system. Anyway, that's what I'm bearing witness to, and to the arrival of Jesus. Jesus is coming, you guys. I guarantee it. He's coming. There's no doubt about it. And I just documented in a row all the supernatural. Every single thing is supernatural. Every single thing that's happened today has been supernatural. It's all, you can see the Lord orchestrating the entire thing, all of it today. And he's orchestrating us turning into light. We're about ready to turn into light beings and leave here. I guarantee it. It's not my opinion. It's what's been communicated to me. I'm not saying this because I think it. I'm thinking because it's been communicated clearly, Cory.
Absolutely.
Without a question, it's been communicated. We're about ready to turn into light beings. And when it happens, we will leave this place, and that's it. So the end is here. And the King is coming. I may have gone over a little bit on that video. So yeah, we're getting ready to turn into light beings. The end is here. The King is coming, and prepare your hearts and just let go. Just let go. Don't look back either. If you find yourself and you're leaving and you know what's behind you, don't be like Lot's wife and look back. You know what I mean? She turned to a pillar of salt, right? So think about that. Don't look back at, like, if you miss anything from this earth, then you probably are still part of it. I don't miss anything of this earth. Nothing. It's like I'm doing a quick check. Nothing. No. Okay, guys. I love you. Jesus is coming. Okay, so I'm heading down to the alley where I got saved. It just seems fitting that now would be a good time to go down there. I know it's the end. The end has come. So anyway, I'm going to run down to the alley and just say a prayer and tell God thank you for everything he's done to help me persevere through all this, because it's been a lot. Anyway, yeah, we're going to head down to the alley, and then I'm going to send all those little clips that I just made to Dave the Wave. He's going to stitch them all together, including this one and maybe what's right after this. And it's time to get your hearts ready, folks. Jesus is coming. Bye.
Freak out.
We had a little incident at the post office. There were this black man and woman. They pulled up, and I was undoing the shofar on the hood of the car, and they were just like, "Oh, is that a shofar?" And I was like, "Yeah, Jesus is coming."
Yep.
And the look on their face.
Well, so here's the thing. So they're getting ready to start a church, right? And Jay's gonna have to cut this clip in a second. Okay, so they're getting ready to start a church, and we're at the post office in the parking lot, and Jay just took the shofar out of the box and put it on the hood. And then Jay's like, "The Jesus is coming," and I was watching their eyes.
Time to go down there. I know it's the end. The end has come. So anyway, I'm going to run down to the alley and just say a prayer and tell God thank you for everything he's done to help me persevere through all this, because it's been a lot. Anyway, yeah, we're going to head down to the alley, and then I'm going to send all those little clips that I just made to Dave the Wave. He's going to stitch them all together, including this one and maybe what's right after this. And it's time to get your hearts ready, folks. Jesus is coming. Bye.
Freak out.
We had a little incident at the post office. There were this black man and woman. They pulled up, and I was undoing the shofar on the hood of the car, and they were just like, "Oh, is that a shofar?" And I was like, "Yeah, Jesus is coming."
Yep.
And the look on their face.
Well, so here's the thing. So they're getting ready to start a church, right? And Jay's gonna have to cut this clip in a second. Okay, so they're getting ready to start a church. And we're at the post office in the parking lot, and Jay just took the shofar out of the box and put it on the hood. And then Jay's like, the Jesus is coming. And I was watching their eyes, and they looked at Jay like, no, Jay's like, he's coming now. And they're like, oh yeah, we're getting ready to start a church. And their eyes got all big, like.
And they're like seeing me undo a shofar. I go, no, he's coming now. And they're like,
yeah, he's coming now. So I don't mean to laugh at it. It was just the look on their face and to watch their eyeballs when Jay said it. It was like
it was that $1 million moment where they're like,
yeah.
And I'm like, no, he's coming now.
Like it hit him. Like it really hit him, and you could see the look on their face like, oh, this guy's for real.
Yeah, and then I showed them how to read the enemy's language real quick, and they were like, So anyway, it's been a good morning.
Pray for him.
Oh yeah, his name, by the way, is Johnny. I was like, mine's Johnny too.
Yeah.
There you go. Anyway, all right, guys, here we go. So anyway, I just got down here to the alley, and look at this. The fire the whole thing's closed off by these blue dumpsters. The whole alley's closed off. What's fascinating is look at this new mural they put. And here's this girl with the third eye in her forehead. That'll be a mouth.